kicking her. Good kick. One more time. Good kick. Up.
Learn to Fight. I'm your host, Manny. And apparently there's monkeys that are way better at martial arts than a lot of people. So that monkey right there is a monkey that learned Taekwondo and mastered Taekwondo. As you can see, he's throwing spinning back kicks, he's throwing side kicks, he's throwing everything. And I already know what a bunch of you hillbillies are gonna say, like, "Oh, I knew it. That's why black people are good at fighting." You know, I can already see it. I just know how you hillbillies are. So, but that's pretty interesting. I like watching animals fight because I feel like we can learn a lot from animals fighting in the wilderness and take that and put that into martial arts in real life. So that's why, you know, when you look at animals fighting, the most deadliest move in martial arts, the rear naked choke, is a move that animals actually use, specifically the tiger and lions, you know, cats, things like this, alligators. In a way, they do it in a different way. They go straight for the neck, they go straight for the carotid artery, and that's their kill shot. That's their kill move in the wilderness. So, you know, when we look at, I'm sure there's somewhere in the world where there's some super rich dudes and they have a bunch of monkeys, highly trained, and they put the gloves on, or maybe no gloves, and they have them fight. Because if we have monkeys who are able to throw martial arts techniques this clean, I mean, it would be insane. I guarantee you, there's somewhere in the world there's some super rich Saudi Arabian dude or something like that having full on MMA fights with monkeys. Like, look at the skill of this guy.
Spinning kick. Spinning kick. Spinning kick.
This spinning back kick.
Get him up there. Ready? Jump around us. Good kick. Up. Come on. Kick it. One more. Ready? Go. Come on.
And he
Kick it
has some
hard.
serious
Kick it
pop.
hard. Good kick. One more time. Good kick.
The spinning back kick is crazy. So yeah, I mean, that's insane. It's really insane. I remember a few years ago, you know, maybe like 10 plus years ago, 12 years ago, there's a story of the woman who got attacked by the monkey and it ripped her hands off and her arms off and her face off. And now we have to worry about monkeys throwing spinning back kicks. If that spinning back kick hits you from a monkey, that's going to absolutely destroy you. It's going to wreck you. But on another note, you know, maybe, you know, I'm going to fire back on the hillbillies. You know, maybe the hillbillies are onto something, you know, because in their mind, they believe that Africans or black people are monkeys, right? So maybe that's why, the top fighters are always black. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why we got John Jones, he's black, right? Mike Tyson, he's black, right? Muhammad Ali, he's black. You know what I'm saying? Francis Ngannou, he's black. So I can already see, you know, we'll play devil's advocate for a second. And yeah, maybe it is so. Maybe that's why all the best fighters typically are black. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in the UFC, let's look at this for a second seriously. In the UFC, African fighters were never really in the UFC, right? Right now, currently, if we go to Africa, there's 52 countries in Africa. There's dudes there right now who are giant dudes, who are super athletes. There's dudes out running lines and running lines to the point where they die out in Africa, in the continent of Africa. So there was never a bunch of African fighters in UFC. Finally, when a bunch of African fighters came into UFC, what happened? We had 3 champions from Africa when there was probably 10 African fighters in the UFC. simultaneously. Francis Ngannou, Kamaru Usman, and Israel Adesanya. And arguably, all three of those fighters were some of the best fighters we've ever seen in the sport. Francis, in my opinion, is the heavyweight GOAT because he beat so many champions. He beat Cain Velasquez. He beat Junior Dos Santos. And not only did he beat him, he knocked him out. He beat Stipe Miocic, knocked him out. He hasn't fought since, right? He beat Alistair Overeem, knocked him out. No other heavyweight has done that to all those champions. So he is the best heavyweight ever of all time. African man. Israel Adesanya, he was the best middleweight since Anderson Silva. So another African, right? Nigerian man. Kamaru Usman was the best champion at welterweight since George St. Pierre. And George St. Pierre is known as being the best welterweight of all time. After Kamaru Usman, of course, if we take Kamaru Usman and we have him fight George St. Pierre, I don't think George St. Pierre wins that fight. I feel like, Africans and Russians both have like the strongest body types when it comes to fighting and martial arts. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about Russians and Africans specifically. One of my training partners, he just got in the UFC. His name is Nikolai. First time I ever sparred with this dude, he just felt different. And I've trained with a lot of people. I fought a lot of people, felt so many different body types, and something about the Russians, they're just different. They're just different people, and the Africans, they're also just different people. I went to Africa in 2017 for the first time since I was a kid. I went to Togo, and when I was there, there's a lot of people there who don't work out, but they're just ridiculously jacked. I'm talking super athletes. I'm talking dudes taller than Shaq. I'm talking dudes walking around 10 packs, crazy shape, jacked. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a million dudes who look like Francis Ngannou over there. And that's just real talk. And once these dudes start getting into the UFC, it's going to be a wrap, So for the hillbillies, it's funny when they're like, oh, you're a monkey, blah, 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 blah. You're a monkey, boy. All right, well, monkeys are jacked, right? Monkeys are jacked, and they're doing spinning back kicks, right? So that's, it's almost a compliment. You know what I'm saying? It's almost a compliment to a certain degree. You're a monkey, boy. All right, here we go.
Roundhouse, spinning kick,
Bop, spinning kick,
spinning
kick.
Get him up.
Look at that. Look at that technique. Look at that athleticism.
Good kick. Up.
Look at that head kick.
One more. Ready?
Look at that athleticism.
Kick it hard. Good kick. One more time. Good kick. Up.
Like I'm telling you, you get hit with one of those shots, it's over with. It's a wrap. So, the hillbillies and the racists, you got to come with something more creative than you're a monkey, boy. Because here's the thing. Every time I post a fight, right? I post a jiu-jitsu highlight, whatever. There's always one hillbilly who's, either putting a monkey emoji or something like that. But monkeys are beasts, What there's like drunken monkey style, right? There's one of the most famous styles of martial arts back in the day when you're watching movies and shit, right? Monkeys can fight. Monkeys can fight their ass off, as you can see. Got him. Drop kicked his ass. So that brings me to my next thing. In the future, we're probably going to have and who knows, they probably already have monkeys who are highly trained in guns, like Planet of the Apes type shit. I mean, they probably do because there's a lot of technology on Earth right now that the average person has no idea about. If you look into the 4,900 patents that they have hidden from the public, there's crazy technology on Earth. If you look up spider goats and human animal hybrids, that's actually a thing if you Google it. So I guarantee you somewhere somewhere deep under earth or somewhere they have some Planet of the Apes style monkeys, highly trained for war with weapons. And there's a man fighting a monkey one-on-one, you're going to lose every single time. You can't beat a monkey. You can't beat an ape. And if that ape is throwing spinning back kicks like that, it's a wrap. That dude, it's faster than you. It's stronger than you. It has sharper teeth than you have. It can rip your arms off limb for limb. So, yeah, guaranteed there's a bunch of monkeys somewhere highly trained that there's some monkey force out there. Planet of Apes is real, probably, because also another thing, when the dude trained that monkey, the monkey it learned martial arts faster than a regular person could learn it. Like, it learned it extremely fast, which is insane to me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's literally a monkey. It's throwing spinning back kicks better than a lot of people can throw it. Like, if you look at how tall he is compared to the other guy, this dude's jumping in the air, throwing flying roundhouse kicks. That's insane. That's like the equivalent of someone who was like, let's say 5 foot, jumping in the air and landing a head kick on someone who's 7 foot tall, maybe even more than that. So somewhere on the earth, there's a bunch of monkeys who are expert in weapons. And if shit ever gets crazy, I'm sure they're going to release them. So that's wild as fuck to think about. When I train, I'm trying to get monkey strength straight up. I literally try to find ways to become as strong as a monkey because their strength is completely different than the regular human strength. And if you're able to get that strong, technique kind of goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you kick an ape, nothing's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You can have all the technique you want in the world. If you punch a monkey, it's not going to work, right? It's like, look at how strong this monkey is. Look at the muscles on this monkey. So imagine if you're able to get even half of that, or even 25% of that as a human, and you're fighting another human, it's going to be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So I try to get as strong as possible every single day and find different training methods to become ape strong, straight up. I'm trying to become a fucking ape. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you look at these shaved apes, their muscles are just like, there's muscles everywhere on this dude. This dude could literally rip your arm off in the blink of an eye. Look at the muscles on this man. His arms are fucking huge. So yeah, I'm trying to get ape strength straight up. That's where it's at. That's the way to go. Speaking of apes, there's this video that's going viral of this dude. He's like a 400-pound ex-cop, and he's getting tased. It took like 15 cops to subdue this dude. This is another reason why people need to learn how to fight, especially police officers and stuff like this. There's a video of Sandra Massey, I believe her name was. She had a pot of hot water, and the cop, way bigger than her, shoots her like pews her like 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so scared of a pot of water. A lot of these police officers just have no business being police officers. If you're super scared and you don't know how to subdue somebody, if you're weak, you shouldn't be a police officer. So it took 15 officers to subdue this dude. Look at this.
And you are trespassing, and that is very bad. Very bad karma.
On July 22nd, 2023, officers in Illinois were attempting to arrest a man for trespassing after he refused to leave his mother's house.
I need you to come on out. I need you to come on out. Okay, you got to come on out. No, you got to. This isn't your house. You need to come on out. Mom doesn't want you here. She does not want you here. No. Okay. So if that's the case, you don't reside here, you need to leave, okay? We're trying to do this peacefully, okay? All right? We're trying to work with you.
So this is your mom's house, not yours, right? Correct. So we don't need a warrant because we have your mom's permission to come in the house.
On a side note, these are actually good cops, though. You know, they're trying to give the dude every chance to, you know, make it easier for them. So I respect that. I appreciate that, you know, because people have mental breakdowns sometimes. And as a police officer, your duty is to protect and serve. So I think a lot of times, a lot of police officers, they're just so pussified and they're so scared that, you know, or they go into it for the wrong reasons and they're not trying to protect and serve. So I do think these guys did a good job protecting and serving. But however, if it was a black man like me, I think they would have probably They probably would have popped me. To be honest, let's be 100% real here.
Okay. Will it bite us? Okay.
No. It doesn't mean it's your house if you have power of attorney. No.
No, it doesn't work that way.
He doesn't have power of attorney? Oh. And your mom said you don't have power of attorney anyways. No.
You prove it.
Prove to me that you do.
You're going to get 3 options, okay?
Give them every, you know.
All right, either you can leave, we can give you a ride somewhere, okay? Or we can get you, if you want help, we can get you help. If you need help, okay? We always have that option, all right? Otherwise, if you don't leave, mom doesn't want you here, you get arrested for trespassing, okay? All right? So we're trying to work with you, okay? I kind of know your background a little bit.
I've had a lot of different experiences with cops. I've had great cops who were really good dudes. You know, I had times where there was a time when I was probably 13 years old. Me and my boys just riding our bikes in Missouri, and had some cop come up, and you know, we weren't doing any crimes, so you started making stuff up saying that we fit the description, blah blah blah. This is the typical bullshit that they say. But the thing about this cop was he was clearly trying to antagonize and start some type of altercation with my buddy who, you know, he was less emotionally mature. And so he was trying to force his hand into some type of scenario where he could beat his ass. And this is like a teenage kid, mind you. So there's all types of cops like this, and I've experienced them all. I think the reason that these cops are so friendly to this dude was because they're scared of him to a degree, and they know who they can like get away with stuff with.
What's that? Huh? You don't reside here, you gotta leave. If the person that resides here tells you don't want to leave here, okay?
I'm gonna skip forward a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
All right, it's about to escalate.
Yeah.
All right, look at this.
Jamin,
No, you're not pushing me. I'm under arrest.
Look at this.
Yeah. Go. Down.
Yeah, first stink. See, if that was me, they would have shot me straight up. If that was me, they would have shot me. That first push. Oh, I'm scared for my life. It's a black man. It's a big black man. It's a big black man. I'm gonna shoot. So meanwhile, this dude's 400 pounds pushing police officers, and they're not doing anything. You have women out there with pots who are 100 pounds, 120 pounds, and she's black, so they're scared for their life. You know, absolutely insane, ridiculous. I remember one time I got pulled over in California. Actually, I had a nice car as well. Pulled over, and the cop like had his hand on his gun immediately. He's like, "Oh shit, black man." Hand on his gun immediately. I literally looked at the dude and I was like, "Why is your hand on your gun?" And he didn't even register that he was almost trying to escalate a situation. He was almost trying to escalate a situation just automatically. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's a lot of just fear in general a little bit too much for you.
Taser, 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 taser. Stay right there. Don't fucking move. Get your hands behind your fucking back. Don't fucking move. Don't fucking move. I got. Put your hands behind your back now. Now. Now.
David, stop.
Leave him.
Sister, please stop.
Stand behind your back now.
That's like 400 pounds.
No. Take.
What
Put
the
your hands
fuck?
behind your back now.
Hey, your sister. Please stop.
All right, now seriously. All right, so be 100% real. Don't fucking lie. Don't bullshit yourself. Don't, just be honest. If I did that to the cops, right? Me at 230 pounds, jacked, all muscle. If I did that, do you guys think that I would have survived or not? Do you guys think I would have came out unscathed? Or do you guys think I would have probably got shot or got my ass beat? Remember back in the 90s, they beat the fuck out of Tupac before he was famous. They beat the shit out of Tupac for jaywalking. You remember that? And then that's why Tupac was so wild, because they beat the shit out of Tupac for jaywalking. And then he sued the police department, and then he got a bunch of money from that. And then later on, there was two cops, two off-duty cops beating up a black dude. He didn't know they were cops. He pulls out a gun and he actually shoots these off-duty cops, and he got off. And or he pews these off-duty cops, and he actually got off. And ever since then, they had it out for Tupac. So some people believe the cops actually off Tupac, because you have if you ever seen the movie Training Day, that movie was based on the Rampart Division Police Department in California. And, there's a lot of different theories that, actual cops pop Pac. There's actual different witness accounts of, some people say that, he got shot by a white Cadillac, blah, blah, blah. Some people say someone actually walked up on the car and popped him and walked off. So who really knows what happened? But that's a whole nother point. Tupac jaywalking got his ass beat so bad that he, they broke bones in his face, right? This man is over here pushing cops, wrestling with the cops, going ape shit, 400 pounds, nothing, absolutely nothing. And I think that's good. I think it's good that, because that's how they should handle situations. I think, using lethal force should be the absolute last option. It's someone's life is very valuable. It's someone's life, it's someone's kid. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. But it is, and I'm glad they didn't shoot the dude. Don't get me wrong, but it's just interesting to me when people try to say that, for example, with the George Floyd thing, oh, he was a drug addict, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you think, for example, Ryan Garcia's dumbass talking trash on the George Floyd thing, regardless of whatever you think, there is a different way the cops handle certain people, which you could see here, George Floyd, how they handle him and how they handle this dude who's more dangerous than George Floyd. Number one, this guy's 400 pounds going ape shit. Let me rewind it. Let me rewind it for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about.
Stand behind your back now. Now. Take. Put your hands behind your back now.
Hey, your sister. Please.
And the cop, they can't even fight. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, there's definitely a clear difference in how they treat black people and white people. I mean, it's just a fact. I mean, I think it's getting better. You know, I'm not a victim. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, but you know, let's be real here. You know, if you're a black man, you better have your P's and Q's. You better try to be, you know, you don't have to be no bootlicker. You know, ain't no bootlicker, but anytime you're dealing with the cops, you know, your life is potentially on the line. For me, you know, if I deal with the cops, I always record. You know, even going as far as live streaming would be a great thing to do. You know, like in this situation, the cops go in your house, you should live stream. You know, you should set up your tripod, whatever, live stream, because if they slip up, you know, it's there forever on the internet. You know, so but there is definitely a clear way. As far as the cops go in this situation, when the dude was going ape shit, they should have tried to control one of his legs, because you can't stand up if one of your legs are being controlled. Try to control one of his legs, you know, especially if you have 2-on-1. One of the guys should be controlling one or both of his legs. The other guy putting pressure on his upper body, controlling his arms. You know, that's how you do it. But this dude obviously is way stronger than both of the cops, because they're not strong enough. They haven't went in the gym. They haven't done their thing. Let's get back to the video.
Yeah, your taser. You broke my bar.
Jamie, your sister.
10-4.
Please stop.
Why are you fighting? What are you doing?
Put your hands
Why
behind
are
your
you
back.
fighting? Why did you
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back now?
Please stop.
Put your
That's
hands
how
behind your back,
fucking
Jamin.
mind.
What are you doing?
Put your hands behind your back.
Again. What are you doing?
Your mom doesn't want you here. You're under arrest.
And then you just pushed me.
So put your hands behind your back.
Yeah, push it off, sir. You came in without a warrant.
We don't need a warrant at your mom's house. Put your hands behind your back.
We're trying to work with you. Where prove it it's my mom's house.
Prove to me that it is. It's not.
Know that it isn't my mom's house.
Turn around, put your hands.
They're going back and forth. If it was any black person, they would have shot him. Let's be honest. If it was any black person, if they wouldn't have shot him, they would have beat the absolute shit out of him from that moment, right? So, and going to back to the Sandra Massey thing, she had, you know, that's actually very interesting. That's actually very, very interesting, because look at this. The Sandra Massey thing is actually exact correlation, similar situation. She had schizophrenia, whatever, but she called the police for help, right? Because she thought someone was in her house or someone was around her house, right? This situation, this guy's mom is like, hey, we need this guy out of here. Because imagine somebody's mom trying to deal with this dude, 400 pounds, raging, going ape shit. You're not going to be able to stop him unless you shoot him or, you know, something like that. But that's a dude's a serious danger, right? So they show up, Sandra Massey. They're looking at her like she's a suspect, even though she called for help, right? This dude pulls up. They're giving him all the benefit of the doubt. This dude just assaulted an officer multiple times. They tased him. He's not going for it. He's going ape shit. And they're still giving him the benefit of the doubt. Tupac crosses the street, jaywalk. He gets the shit beat out of him, right? You know, it's just, it's very, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff is all I'm going to say.
Hands behind your back now.
You are in my house and you are trespassing, and that is very bad karma. Very bad karma.
Okay, I am sorry. I'm sorry, that's bad karma. Okay.
What the look at this, man. The dude actually said, I'm sorry. I've never once had a cop say I'm sorry to me. Even when they're blatantly wrong, never once have I had a cop say I'm sorry. So it's very interesting. Like, these dudes are absolutely scared shitless of this dude who's 400 pounds going ape shit. They're literally scared, and they're even scared to use their weapon, which they should be, because that should be the very last option. But you know, it's very interesting. Could you imagine if a black dude did this? I literally couldn't even imagine if a black dude did it. Actually, I can't imagine if he would get popped, you know, because they've gotten popped for less, you know. You know, I mean, I really don't know what to say to this, you know, at all. these cops are scared of this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Calm down.
Can we talk to you?
No, it's not going to work that
asking
way.
you, please, to get out.
No,
We can't. We're here now.
Please.
I am asking you,
don't do it.
please, to get out.
Don't do it.
Please, Damon, your sister. I'm here.
Put your hands behind your back now.
It's something that I would only know. You and me.
Put your hands behind your back.
What do they always say when in the videos? They say stop resisting, and they're beating your ass, right? The dude's clearly resisting, right? It's just ridiculous, but we're gonna go fast forward through this shit. You know, this is absolutely insane. You know, this dude's going back and forth with them forever. He literally tricks them, tries to not get out. Then look at this right here. This is what gets spicy.
Huh?
Okay.
You're going to get tased.
So I need
I don't
to.
want to tase you, but you're going to get tased. Put
So-
your hands behind your back. This is your last chance.
So you're gonna have to put your hands behind your back. Okay.
He's already fought with me.
I tased him.
Him. Me, grab me.
I believe they entered illegally.
No, you don't.
Okay.
They don't have a warrant.
Well, they're here. So
You don't live
They didn't have a warrant.
put your hands behind your back.
And they can't. hang on.
Damon, put your hands behind your back.
I'm going to tase you. Be behind your back. I will tase you.
Come.
Turn around. Behind your back. Turn around. Don't do it, man.
I'm in my comfy, cozy cardigan because it's therapy day today.
But yeah, you know, then he books it, right? And then they try to beat his ass. You know, they're still giving him every chance to, like, you know, make it safe for him, basically. Let's go back to it. The taser. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I got your taser. I got your taser. Put your arm.
You know, and then there's more that come. But let a black dude do that. Guarantee, you know, they try to shoot him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just is what it is. But that dude, like, if the cops knew how to fight, not saying that they should have whooped his ass or whatever, but if you know how to subdue somebody, it makes a huge difference. This is why everybody needs to learn how to fight. You know, everyone needs to learn how to fight. And again, Tupac got destroyed for crossing the street. And mind you, Tupac was like, what, 130 pounds max. 130, 140 pounds max. And I actually have that article right here, actually. So let's take a look at it. Oh, well, yeah. This is, all right, so Tupac, right? This is the actual article of his beatdown by cops for jaywalking, right? So October 17th, 1991, Tupac assaulted by Oakland police. At 12:45 p.m., Tupac was assaulted by Oakland police officers Alexander Boykovich and Kevin Rogers after jaywalking on the 17th of Broadway. So imagine that. For jaywalking, he got his ass beat, right? He got his ass beat for jaywalking. Jaywalking is literally crossing the street and not taking the correct path or whatever. Everyone jaywalks, or everyone has jaywalked once in their life. And if you're saying that you haven't, you're fucking lying. So as we see here, this is what they did to Pac for jaywalking, right? They absolutely beat the dog shit out of him. He was put in a chokehold, hit, cuffed, and thrown into jail for 7 hours, which led to him missing the debut of his music video Trapped on Yo MTV Raps, which ironically deals with the issue of police brutality. Can't make this shit up. So, you know, he clearly got his ass beat. Can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. He's making a music video about police brutality. On the way, he gets brutalized, right? That's like perfectly written. But he got put in a chokehold for jaywalking. He got his ass beat for jaywalking, right? Meanwhile, this dude is over here going absolutely ape shit, pushing cops, shoving him out the way. He's 400 pounds, and they give him the benefit of the doubt, you know? So, I mean, you take that and make it what you will. I saw this video on YouTube the other day. It was a homeless woman, and she went to get, it was during COVID, and she went to the hospital because she needed a COVID test in order to get into the homeless shelter. And it was like super cold. She was living somewhere like the Midwest where it gets ridiculously cold at night and it snows. Everyone at the hospital thought she was just messing around, just wanted to get a bed for the night, whatever. So they wanted to kick her out, and they just basically wouldn't give her the COVID test. One of the cops show up, and he is an absolute idiot, and he's just like taunting this elderly woman. This lady's like 60 years old, and it's a hard 60 years old as well because she's been living on the streets. She's also a white woman. You know what I'm saying? So this guy's like taunting her, tricking her, lying to her. Basically, he tells her she's gonna get a COVID test if she comes here. She goes outside and he's like, "Hey, get out of here." And then she's like, "Hey, you lied to me." You know what I'm saying? And she's like walking away. She's like, "Hey, you lied to me. Like, why would you do that?" This cop literally runs up to her, slams her on the concrete. This is a 60-year-old elderly woman. Slams her on the concrete, shatters her knee, makes her face bloody. I'm gonna see if I can find the video and show you guys. Shatters her knee, makes her face bloody, and then whenever he's telling her to get up, she obviously can't get up because he shattered her leg, right? And he's like, "Hey, you're lying, blah blah blah, you're lying." And all the people saw this as well, so all the hospital people, they saw this, and then they're like, "Hey, like, get up, you can get up, you were just walking." Yeah, she's just walking, and the dude, that was before the dude shattered her leg, and she's a 60-year-old woman. A lot of people don't know the body's capabilities and how fragile the body can be, especially when you're untrained and you don't work out. So that's another reason people need to learn to fight, because people have no concept of what the body even really is, and how it can really be damaged. So this lady, older lady, broke her leg, couldn't stand up, couldn't walk. Everyone's like, "Oh, you were just walking, get up, blah blah blah." Anyways, fast forward, she sues the police department. They put her in jail, whatever. She sues the police department, and they did an X-ray. Her leg was completely shattered. This is a homeless woman, and they did this to her. And the officer was like taunting her, saying, "Hey, you can sleep on it's not that cold tonight. You could find a tree to snuggle up on or something like that." Just absolute ridiculousness. It seems like, some officers, I don't want to say, I think a lot of them are good people. A lot of them really want to be public servants and help society and help people. But some of them are just in there because they have power trips, and some of them are in there because they want to do harm to people. Some criminals and some officers are the same people, and they're the same archetype of person. A criminal wants to be above the law. Some officers want to be above the law. Some officers don't go into law enforcement to actually help society. So it's something interesting to look at. And some of these cops even talk like criminals themselves. Because like if you see that video of Tony and Massey shooting or pew-pewing, what the cop say? He's like, "You better fucking not, or I'm gonna shoot you in the fucking face," right? So if you're a professional, you should never even be talking like that at all, because us taxpayers, we pay your check. You need to be addressing everybody with respect, regardless of whatever's going on. I don't want my police officers acting like criminals. If I can't tell a criminal and a police officer apart, we have an issue. So yeah, I think they just need to be held to a higher standard. I think it should be harder to become a police officer, and it should be easier to lose your job. Because that's a job that requires a lot of things. A lot of discipline, a lot of courage. And it should be treated as such. You know, it should be treated as such. I think it's very necessary, as we've seen in there's a place in Oakland where I believe it was in Oakland or somewhere like that in California. And Oakland, right? Look at that. Oakland, the same police department that beat Tupac's ass. It was somewhere in Oakland. They like defunded the police $70 million. And the mayor actually like took the money. It was like the mayor or some politician took that 70 million and put it into something else, right? And now she's getting investigated by FBI. But when she did that, crime went up and murder went up by 200%. You know, so we definitely need police officers, but we need good police officers, and we need ones that want to serve the community, you know, ones that want to serve the community. I think a lot of them are like that, and there is just a few bad apples, but, you know, we need to screen these people for being racist. We need to screen these people for these things, you know, and it needs to be more stringent. It needs to be more, you know, held to a higher standard. But how we went from monkeys that do martial arts, throwing spinning back kicks and stuff to this, I don't know, but that's how we roll over here at the Learn to Fight podcast. Completely different topic. Bobby Green versus Patty Pimblett, UFC 304. I got Bobby Green absolutely sparking Patty Pimblett in the second round knockout. You know, some nasty combinations. Bobby Green or King Green is a great fighter. I think Patty, he has a lot of holes in his stand-up game. And also, I think he's kind of overrated. I think, you know, he's good, but I just don't really see him beating King Green in this scenario. I think it's a real bad matchup for him, especially when you look at the similar fighters and the similar fights that they've had. You know, they both fought Jared Gordon. They both fought Tony Ferguson, you know, and the Tony Ferguson fight is a great example because King Green finished Tony Ferguson in the third round. You know, Patty decision, you know, and it wasn't like a very dominant performance. So I'm going to bet on Bobby Green for this fight against Patty Pimblett. I think it's just a horrible matchup for Patty, and I think he's going to get absolutely sparked, especially because he doesn't keep his hands up and he doesn't have good striking and he doesn't have good stand-up. And Bobby Green, King Green, has amazing stand-up and amazing boxing, and he's boxed and striked with the best of them, even though he keeps his hands down. This is just a tailor-made matchup for King Green to knock him out. And I think he will get it done in Manchester. You know, I see it just a right hand right down the pipe, bop, you know, and he's going to bring the Patty Pimblett hype train to an end. You know, Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blades, I feel like that's another one that Tom Aspinall is going to get destroyed in. I think he's going to get wrecked in this fight. You know, I think Tom Aspinall is a good fighter, but, you know, you guys love to just hop on the next hype train and the next hype train, you know, and you guys over here talking about some Tom Aspinall could beat John Jones. Man, get out of here with that. Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades, they already fought once. Curtis Blade whooped his ass. It was a 15-second fight. He landed 3 significant strikes in 15 seconds, and then Tom Aspinall tore his ACL throwing a kick. Curtis Blades is a great fighter, you know, and I think this fight is going to end up in a finish for Curtis Blades, probably similar to the way Curtis Blades did Alistair Overeem with the elbows, you know. So Tom Aspinall, how can he win this fight? He can knock him out. He could do a Derek Lewis. Tom Aspinall is obviously extremely fast, extremely athletic, extremely strong. But Curtis Blades, you know, he has great wrestling, and he has good heavy hands as well. These guys are the same weight, These guys are the same weight. They both weighed in at like 250. But when it comes at Tom Aspinall is a black belt, Curtis Blades, I don't know what his rank is on the ground, but obviously he's an extremely skilled ground fighter. It's for the belt. I see it's a 5-round fight. I see Curtis winning this fight again. He obviously has the confidence from the last fight, which was a 15-second matchup. He just won his last fight. Tom is coming off the knockout with Sergey. But obviously, Curtis isn't going to sit there and strike with you like Sergey was going to sit there and strike with you. And honestly, I think Tom Aspinall kind of got in Sergey's head with all the friendly stuff. I don't think Curtis is going to be there to be friendly with you, So going for Curtis, I got Bobby Green. I got King Green. I got Curtis Blades, and I got Leon Edwards in this. Leon Edwards decision win. Piecing up Bilal. It's not even going to be close. I don't see Bilal winning this fight in any way, shape, or form. And that's just what it is. That's really what it is. The Jake Paul fight, I lost a little bit of dough on that fight, but this fight we're gonna re-up. We're gonna re-up with a clean sweep. I'm only picking those 3 fights. Paddy Pimblett versus King Green. I got Bobby Green, King Green. I got Curtis Blades versus Tom Aspinall, and Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. I got Leon Edwards obviously winning. And I think it's going to be a great event. This fight card, I think it's a sleeper. I think it's going to be a really good fight card. I think there's not a lot of hype with it just because there's been so many good fights recently. It seems like people are really sleeping on this card, but they don't really care about it as much. And I gotta be honest, I don't really care about it as much. Only reason I'm even watching is because Giga Chikadze is fighting. Also, Giga Chikadze. Giga's gonna win via kick. Giga kick. He's gonna absolutely maul the dude. Giga's an incredible fighter, incredible striker. I've seen him in the gym. I've sparred with him myself. He's a great, really, really good, skillful fighter, and I know he's been working his balls off for this fight. So I got Giga winning via over Arnold Allen via either body shot or some type of maybe even a flying knee. I just see him knocking him out. Really, I see him just destroying him on the feet. I see Arnold Allen coming out and trying to wrestle. All that is not a really good move with someone like Giga. You're not gonna just wrestle Giga like that. He's gonna hit you with all types of crazy moves. This guy's ridiculously fast, really aggressive, and a very good fighter and a very, very good striker. I'm 200 plus pounds. Giga fights at 145. I've sparred with Giga before a few times. Giga hits ridiculously hard at his weight. So if you're someone his weight and you're fighting him, he's going to light you up, and he's super fast, So I got Giga Chikadze, King Green, Curtis Blades, Leon Edwards. Those are my 4 locked picks that you should bet on and, put a good amount on, and we'll see how that goes. And, I think the whole fight card will be a very good fight. We got the Manel Cape versus some, I forget the dude's name. I don't really care about that fight. They're 125ers. I don't really care about that fight, but overall, it's going to be a good fight card, So, and I'm sure somewhere in the world they have the monkey UFC going on where the actual monkeys are fighting each other in a cage with martial arts techniques and they're beating each other's ass. Somewhere on the world it's happening, guaranteed. Somewhere on the world that's happening. But that's what it is. That's what I got for you guys today. Learn to fight.